Welcome to the first module of NI Multisim Basics course. By the end of this module, you should be familiar with Multisim's graphical user interface, how to place electronic components, and how to wire circuits. Multisim is a SPICE-based electronic design automation integrated software environment with a simulation engine. As you'll see, Multisim provides a detailed schematic capture tool, a reliable interactive simulation, and effective circuit analysis tools. This can accelerate the design process for schematic capture and analysis, rapid prototyping with the direct integration of Multiboard, and testing and verification through LabVIEW graphical system design environment. Let's start by taking a look at Multisim's graphical user interface. There are four main sections: the toolbars and drop-down menus, the design toolbox, the spreadsheet viewer, and the workspace area. The toolbars and menus sections is where all the options for your design can be found, and they are organized based on functionality. These are fully customizable, as you can create new menus, toolbars, and select or remove functions in them. And you'll find many other options to help in creating your unique workspace, such as setting shortcut keys, the general and schematic preferences, the sheet properties, etc. The design toolbox manages various elements in the schematic design. It is a useful tool especially for complex schematics, handling the hierarchical design tree, which can show design files, blocks, and variants, among various other things such as the visibility of annotation layers and access to the project view. The spreadsheet viewer is for advanced parameter viewing and editing, such as net and component properties, encompassing things like wire thickness, wire color, component name, section, tolerance, and footprints, among many other things. It contains results of ERC checks and simulations, as well as exporting options for the net and component list. The workspace is the schematic area. This is where your design, circuit analysis tools, and simulation will take place. You are capable of zooming in and out of the workspace, and it can contain a large number of tabs to show various parts of the project, like hierarchical blocks and multiple page designs. You can customize the workspace area to fit your design needs, such as changing the grid layout or the color scheme. Schematic capture involves selecting, placing, and wiring components. Let's see how we can select and place components in the Multisim environment. To start off, we have to select a component from the database. Right-clicking on the workspace and selecting Place Component will take us to the database. You can also use the Ctrl-W shortcut. Components are organized as families, which are sorted in groups based on their functionality and type. We can select components from the master database, the corporate one, which allows you to share components with colleagues, and the user database, which lets you store your own models and edited components. You can see that we can select the component, the special functions related to that component, such as the tolerance for a resistor, the model, and the footprint of the component. You can also view some information about the component, such as the SPICE model, the model manufacturer, and a brief description of it. If you know the name of the component you're looking for, you can easily type it into the search bar or click on Search for more refined and advanced search options. Select the component of your choice and double-click it to select it. As you'll notice, the outline of the symbol for the component will be under your mouse. Before we place a component, note that you can rotate it by 90 degrees by pressing Ctrl-R or Ctrl-Shift-R to rotate it counterclockwise. We can click to place the component on the workspace area and even rotate the component after placing it. For this example, we have already placed the rest of the components, resistors and capacitors, which can both be found under the Basics family in the database. The in-use list is a handy tool to place another instance of a component you have already placed on your schematic. Multisim's modeless wiring tool is intuitive and helps to avoid situations such as short circuits and incorrect routing. Multisim allows for mid-air wiring, which can be useful as a placeholder representation of the circuit, simply by double-clicking on an empty space, dragging to the desired position, and double-clicking again to finish the wire. There are different ways of wiring components in Multisim, either by extending wires, by touching component pins, or by dropping a component. To automatically wire a component, hover the mouse over a component's pin and click it. Drag your cursor to the desired point and finally click on the destination pin. Do not worry about overlapping wires, as the net will not be connected unless you click on the mouse again. For more control over how the wiring looks, you can make waypoints for the wire by clicking on an empty space in between component pins. Another way of wiring components is by simply dragging the component pin that you wish to connect to the pin you wish to connect it to. Notice the dot and drop the component in place. Then select the component and drag it to the desired position. The pins will remain wired. Finally, you can wire a component by dropping it between both ends of an existing wire. Select the component you wish to route, then move it on top of the wire you wish to connect. Make sure the pins are parallel and in line with the wires, then drop the component. Multisim not only allows you to change the wire properties such as color, name, and thickness, but you can easily rewire already placed nets and create virtual wiring with on-off page connectors. To rewire a net, hover the mouse near the pin or junction until the cursor changes. At that point, click down, and you can now wire the net as you normally would. For large designs that might require multiple design pages, or for simplicity's sake, you can create connectors that will connect two wire points within the design, called on-page connectors, or between hierarchies or other schematics, off-page connectors. Place them on your page through right-click menu or from the keyboard shortcut, and attach it to the wire. To connect them, place another one at the desired point and select the same name given to the desired connector. You can connect as many connectors as you wish to the same net. Welcome to the second module of the NI Multisim Basics course. By the end of this module, you should be familiar with Multisim simulation settings, circuit wizards, as well as how to use virtual instruments and measurement probes. Multisim simulation is unique because you don't need to know any SPICE code to deal with it. At the same time, it provides access to the low-level code